Hello everyone. So I have a little bonus Wild Whisper Designs process video for you. This process video takes a lot of products from 2 different collections and also stamps and wood veneers from the shop and brings them together to create a layout. So I have here some wood veneer and stamps. It's from, most of the products I use are either from Rooted Love or the Focus on You collection. And so what I wanted to do was I really wanted to create a layout with all these beautiful feathers that appear in the Focus on You collection. But for me, I find photos or feathers a little hard to work with. They're not a normal kind of icon that I feel super comfortable using. But I had these 2 photos of my son and my nephew. And I wanted to create a layout and tell the story about how alike they are, because they are so much alike, both in looks and personality. And they, so those were the photos I wanted to use for this layout. And so what I decided to do was I decided to use a title called Birds of a Feather, which would let me pull in all these lovely feather embellishments and use them on a page. And the tones in the photos, which you'll see in a minute, are like the tones of the photo are both peach and red, so I could use the peachy colors from the Focus on You collection and the fall colors from the Focus on You collection, because this was taken on these photos had been taken on a hayride in the fall, but I could also pull in some of that brighter red from their shirts and different things. So what I'm doing now is I want to just create, I'm using the branding strips from two of the branding strips. My little boy is beside me playing a video game, and apparently he just could not help himself. So he's yelling at his computer. Sorry about that. So I'm just taking the branding strips and I'm going to create 2 little embellishments, at the 2 little strips at the top and bottom of my page, and then I'm going to use those kind of areas of strips to settle on my embellishments, or have embellishment clusters. So here are my 2 photos, and I matted them up, and now I'm taking the other bits of the branding strips. So I didn't use them when I put them at the top and bottom. I didn't use all of the branding strips, and I wanted to use every teeny tiny little piece of the branding strips, because Wild Whisper Designs is one of the companies that creates really their branding strips have little icons or shapes or, you know, unique things on them that I really enjoy using. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place the rest of those branding strips at the top and bottom, which is going to create continuity for the colors I want to use. Now I'm going to go ahead and collect some of my painting supplies and put my head right under the camera so that we can paint some of the wood veneer. So I decided I wanted to do some white splatters on this wood grain paper. And for me, so I've tried everything, guys. Honestly, I have tried everything. And if I want white splatters to be white, it is Liquitex heavy body acrylic paint and water. And that's what gets you good, white, lovely splatters. Liquitex acrylic paint, you can find it at Michael's. It's very inexpensive. And as you can see here, I just seriously just mix white paint and water on a paper plate, toss it in the garbage when I'm done, and that is how I get my splatters. And so that is my tip or trick. If you want really good white splatters, water down some heavy body Liquitex white, titanium white acrylic paint. So now I'm just making sure I have enough splatters and they're going to come out from my photo the way I want to. And then I'm going to just keep adding more as I want. And some are big and some are little, and they drop so nice when you just mix the acrylic paint with the water, as you can see here. So I went ahead and I set the paper aside now to dry. There's enough splatters on it and I like the way that it looks. And now I'm going to go ahead and work a little bit on the rest of my layout and my embellishments. So I decided that I really want to use these 2 wood veneer feathers. You can find these in the Wild Whisper shop, and actually there's a new wood veneer set of feathers coming out that have etching on them. They're so cute. So, and I'm not sure if they'll be in the shop when this video goes live or if they're scheduled for release next month. So I might have just given you a sneaky peek at, you know, things that are coming. So I went ahead and decided that I wanted to give these feathers a coat of the same Liquitex titanium white acrylic heavy body paint so that they can pop off the page and be a really nice feature to my layout. So I'm just going to give them a nice, pretty thick coat of the acrylic paint and then set them aside to dry with my background. So to continue the idea of having different kinds of feathers, feathers that are wood veneer, feathers in this case that are stamped, which this is the Focus on You stamp collection. And also I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut the feathers that you see off to my right, and I'm going to create these as other embellishments. So my feathers are going to be lots of different kinds of feathers, not just die cuts, not just wood veneers, but some stamping and some different things. So I'm just going to go here through, and I stamped the bottom part of the first part of the stamp with my vintage photo and hickory smoke distress ink, and now I'm coming in with VersaFine black onyx ink over the top. And so now I'm going to do one of the techniques that I just love, my absolute favorite thing, which is to cut things out of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut all of these little embellishments, and then we'll put our layout together. Okay, so the way that I put my layouts together, it really doesn't vary. And so before I embellish, I always put my title and journaling down to make sure I have enough room for both. So I pulled some white letters from my stash, and I'm going to go with an old favorite, these Daily Flash stickers from October Afternoon, as for my title, which is going to be Birds of a Feather. And then I'm going to use my white Uniball Signo ink pen to add some journaling. And I think when it comes to white ink, this is the best one I've found. It's, you know, you have to write over it. It doesn't work perfectly, but I've never found one that works perfectly. So if you know of a white pen that works perfectly, please leave it in the comment below. But the one that I found that works the best is the Uniball Signo. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the two fonts that come in this Daily Flash set of leather stickers and get my title and journaling on the page. And so now it's time to embellish, and I'm going to create two clusters of leaves. One right there where that printed card is that I used for my journaling. There's a leaf already printed on, feather, not leaf, feather, already printed on it, so it was the perfect spot to go ahead and add a cluster of feathers right there. And so we have one stamped one fussy cut one, and one that is a wood veneer. And then I'm going to take the same idea, the same kind of clustering up, and then I add one more fussy cut one because I needed 5. It's just 3, 5, or 1. When I create clusters of embellishments, they have to contain either 3, 5, or 1 elements. It's me. It's just a thing. It's just my thing. So obviously I was having help with my scrapbooking when I was doing this layout, or someone was probably just really interested in my white stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to embellish here, and I decided I want to add just a little tiny cluster up at the top with a couple of these feathers, and then I'm also going to pull in these wood veneer leaves, which are also in the Wild Whisper Design shop, and I decided to leave them bare because these photos were taken in October, they were taken in the fall, and I thought the leaves were a nice nod to the fact that the boys were on a hayride when I snapped these photos, and just the leaves were a nice icon to use for the month of October and the fall time of year. So I'm adhering these with some Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, and then I'm going to go down and add the month and year that the photo was taken, and then we're going to pull out those gorgeous sequins and embellish a little bit with the sequins. So Wild Whisper Designs has in their shop exclusive sequins designed by Spiegelbaum Scraps to coordinate with all of their collections, and these sequin mixes are unique and different, and they're gorgeous. They're very different from the mixes that you find in the Spiegelbaum Scrap shop. And oh look, my glue quit on me, and so I added some of those mini Pop Dots. So that's my favorite dry adhesive. I love those Zotz Bling glue dots for sequins, and they work really great on wood veneer too, as you just saw. So what I'm doing is for each cluster, I'm taking one of each color of sequin, and I'm just kind of sprinkling them around. I didn't want a ton of sequins, but I wanted those colors, especially there's like this tealy color in the sequin mix that matches the little bits of teal around the photo and at the top and bottom, and I wanted to spread that color out a little bit more throughout the page, and I did that by using the sequins in this sequin mix. And so this kind of is like paint drying, so we're going to skip some of this, I think. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this layout and that you enjoyed some of the techniques I shared. Have a wonderful day, and be sure to check out the Wild Whisper Design shop. Bye!